All conferences need their own poet, and Worktech has a very good poet. I described him as the bard of bureaucracy, but he didn't like that very much. But he is an inspiration to us all. So please welcome the Worktech poet, Matt Harvey.
Right. Good morning. I'm going to kick off with a poem about jelly bean working, which I think a lot of you will have heard of because Philip Ross has spoken of it at Worktech conferences before. Just quick show of hands. Do we know about jelly bean working? Thank you very much. Commuting is awful, isn't it? It took me an hour and a half to get here. I could have been just a kind of glowing orange throbbing thing speaking to you out of a screen, but instead I'm here. And jelly bean working. I wrote it in the style of Dr. Seuss to try and keep you happy. What fun we shall have. We shall all have such fun in our jelly bean world and we'll get so much done. Said manager 1 to manager 2, what is a jelly bean? What does it do? Well, it's a blob that can blink. It's a project detector, a link that can wink. It's a colleague connector, a telltale twinkling from illumined informants, an up-to-date inkling reporting performance. And the shade that's displayed says what each of them do. There's a hint in the tint, there's a clue in the hue. That was quite Dr. Seussish, I thought. It's a peer pressure point, a magic marker, two-way keyhole, Nosy Parker. It's a digital diamond, a pearl of low price, a blob that's as good as a wink. It's concise. It's an X marks the spot. It's a word in your ear about who's doing what, who's far and who's near. But manager 1 has a smidgen of doubt. Your jelly bean team, they're quite widely spread out. Flexible practice is all very well, but the practical fact is it's your job to tell worker from shirker, striver from skiver, early adopter from tardy arriver. To keep tabs on your team and your team on their toes, you must herd them in buildings and line them in rows. Like this. There must be a minimum level of order. Why can't your jelly beans be more like Mordor? One bean to rule them all, one bean to find them, one bean to bring them all, and in the cloud to bind them. No, jelly bean working's not what you suppose. They're led by example and not by the nose. In bed, shed or barroom, hub, bistro or brasserie, the jelly bean team, a free range, not battery. The bean team don't need to be chivied and chased. Their jelly bean world is activity-based, so the doing gets done and its doing is seen by means of the beautiful, mutable bean. The bean with a buzz that can bypass the miles, that can pollinate plans and cross-fertilise files. The chameleon bean whose changes reveal who's playing for keeps and who's keeping it real. That's why we all dance to a jelly bean tune and work by the light of a jelly bean moon. There you go.